What is going on, guys? It is Matt here with Sixers Sync back again. We are going to watch Game 7 today. We're going to talk about Game 7. We're going to talk about this series as we're watching Game 7. We're going to multitask. We're going to look at the box score, and we're going to talk about next round's matchup with the Knicks, which starts today, but this video will get out plenty of time before that game starts. That way you can watch this game and then watch the Knicks-Sixers game right after. In a perfect world, obviously. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's watch some Sixers basketball here. I did fix the score bug this time, so you guys will be able to see the score of the game, which I know it's the little things, right? But to start this game, we saw probably some of the best basketball the Sixers have played, both offensively and defensively, right? So quick in transition. VJ, nice layup. We saw Embiid with the jump shot early. And the Celtics they could not make shots. They were jacking threes. You see Paul George goes in. That's arguably an and one. They don't call it there. But it was an intense start. It was a very intense start. And then the Celtics finally broke their scoring drought there with a three from Derek White. But they weren't hitting the shots you would think they'd be hitting. And there's a nice touch pass there from Embiid. I don't really know what Joe Mazzulla's strategy was to start this game with Luka Garza, and I believe it's Ron Harper Jr. on the floor. I saw somewhere that lineup had actually played 0 minutes together this season. And then defensively, not a bad breakdown. That's just Derek White, who was finally on today. And then Embiid goes to the jump stop. Pull up right in Kata's face. And again, what have we been saying all series? Embiid is that guy. He's going to get to his spot, and he's just going to light it up from there, right? But transition is where the Sixers did so much work. And that's where guys like Grimes and Edgecombe immediately are going to excel. Jaylen Brown gets away with a little bit of an elbow there, as he does. He had a lot to say about the Sixers on social media. Maxey gets a bump again. And Paul George, on his birthday too, was having a little bit of a flu game. He was sick. And Embiid in the first half was just on fire from the field. This was where the Celtics were making the Sixers hurt a lot in this game here. So you see they're clearing out for Pritchard. They want Pritchard to draw this switch here. So Kata's going to set the screen. Oubre does go over the screen just fine, but Pritchard does have a quick first step, right? So he gets downhill. And Embiid's kind of just in no man's land here because you don't really know if you want to commit or not. And Pritchard goes down, throws the lob. Kata finishes. I would like to see Oubre follow quicker behind that, and if not, you got to switch a guard there. This was a foul as well. I don't know how there was no foul on that. But as you see, score-wise, the Sixers owned the first quarter. They looked incredible. It was one of the best quarters they've probably had in the series. But this is where we're going to see the Celtics start to kind of put things together, right? So take a look. Let's take a look at this breakdown here because this isn't good. This is a little bit of a return to Game 5, right? So let's take a look at the setup. First of all, lineup's different. You have Drummond in. He's fine on Kata defensively. He's only really not a good defender once he gets to the top of the key. And Justin Edwards is out there right now. You got Paul George, Maxey, and Grimes. So let's see. So Hauser's going to come set the screen. He hits Grimes. This is an easy switch for Maxey, right? This is the problem. And this could be a little bit attributed to Grimes not really playing consistent minutes, right? He kind of plays off the hot hand, whether he's shooting well or not, whether Nick Nurse thinks he's shooting well or not. But this is a problem, right? This can't happen, especially if Grimes is going to hit the screen. You've got to just go with Hauser. Maxey's going to pick this up just fine. He can guard Peyton Pritchard. Pritchard knows that he has a double, kicks it to White, who's been the hot hand. He could just pull this three if he really wanted to here because Edwards is lacking. He's playing in. He pump fakes. Edwards isn't the best defender. He's a lengthy defender, right? You can see the size difference on the court. White's going to blow past. Maxey doesn't play help here, surprisingly, but that's smart because you have Pritchard into a step down three. And Drummond, I mean, this is just like, this is confusing here because it's like, what are you guys doing, really? Like, what's the play here? Because Drummond has his back to Keita. He steps up, and White takes the floater. That's a smart shot from him. Again, around the screen. And this is why the Celtics went on this run, right? This is why the Celtics went on this run. Playing man. Everyone's fine. Everyone's set. Drummond is way overplaying this at the three. You do not have to be this close to Keita at the three. There's no point. I understand there's the screen risk. You can still play a foot back. So that's stupid there by Drummond. Then on top of that, he's going to switch and just go with Derek White the whole way down the baseline. White gets under the basket. Drummond stops, giving help. And White just puts it up and in. Gets away with maybe a foul there. Same thing, but see, that's why Drummond can't overplay, right? Because look, he goes up to overplay, and now he's caught when Keita's going to go. This is where it got a little nerve-wracking for Sixers fans. They had this, excuse my language, but they had this bum 28. I don't know his first name. Gonzalez is his last name. Little two-man action. That's bad defense. Again, Drummond, what are you doing here? So Pritchard has that, right? You're playing help right here. No, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot, right? It's a tough spot. But eventually, Drummond, as the big man, knowing that Paul George is playing on Peyton Pritchard, there's like a 8-inch size difference between those two guys. Pritchard was getting in his interior work bag. This is just a nice move here. I mean, you can't even... There's no excuse, defensively for that. That's just a great move. So they're on a run. It's a 5-point game, and then Derek White comes down and just bangs this three in transition. And at this point, Celtics get the lead. Peyton Pritchard had some words for the crowd as well. But what I will say is that, like I have been saying this whole series, this back half of the series, Quentin Grimes has been a spark plug. Him and VJ have been the guys that, like, when the game's looking tough, they're going to, they're going to hustle. They're going to run. They're going to go down the lane. They're going to blow past guys. But this was back and forth. The Sixers kept going on, like, little 5-point runs. But then the Celtics would come down. They hit a three. They get a bucket back. Embiid draws a foul and one. Don't know how you don't think this is a foul. He whacks his arm. Hits him with the celly. That celly is not going to go over well in New York, but it's going to be hilarious. Jaylen Brown. A little bit of bag work. He's never going to his left hand. Remember that. It's still true, by the way, if you watch him. But this is what I'm talking about with Quentin Grimes. Even though he misses it, so what? He misses it. He goes out in transition to try and get this tough bucket, draw a foul maybe. And that's the hustle that you need off the bench in the playoffs. Sam Hauser, though, was dropping threes. I thought he should get more touches. And look, again, Grimes goes up. Yeah, he gets blocked. So what? The Sixers get the rebound. They give it back to Grimes. And he hits three. He hits Paul George, who's going to knock down the three in Shireman's face. And the Celtics really, in the second quarter, they woke up. And it was like, all right. It was like, all right, we got a game now, right? The Celtics never go away, right? But here you go. I'm just going to replay this. There's not much to say about this defensively because he blows by Paul George. But look at this from the king of the process here. The process himself. Goes straight up, meet me at the rim. Jaylen Brown, we know you're not making that over Joel Embiid. You're not stuffing on him. Come on. And so I want to talk about this defense a little bit because I think this defensive scheme is going to matter for the Knicks series, right? Obviously, these teams are made very differently, and they run very differently because you have Joe Mazzulla versus the Knicks coach is Mike Brown, I think. I don't know who the Knicks coach is. I don't really care much for the Knicks is what you'll find out over the course of this next series. But let's take a look, right? So you have Maxey guarding Jaylen Brown here. Let's imagine this is Jalen Brunson. So let's imagine we have, the Knicks starters plus a six-man. So let's say that Peyton Pritchard is like Deuce McBride or something like that. But I'm not saying these guys are these guys, right? I'm just saying imagine this. So imagine that Walsh in the corner, he's going to be Cat. Derek White is going to be Mikal Bridges, and Shireman is going to be OG Anunoby. They're setting up for an ISO for Brunson, as they will. They will do that plenty in this upcoming series. Let's take a look at what the Sixers might do on defense, right? So you're playing man-to-man, but you're playing Embiid. Oh, sorry, I just pointed right into the camera. You're playing Embiid because he's not mobile enough to get in and out of the paint quickly, right? You're playing him kind of in like his own zone. The question I'm going to raise here is when Jalen Brunson comes down on ISO, right? And he gets right here to the top of the key. And he sees Karl Anthony Towns open in the corner. Is he taking the shot or is he dishing the Cat? If he dishes the Cat, can Embiid get there quick enough to contest that shot? But other than that, for the Celtics, this is great defense because Walsh is not making that three. Paul George, maybe you'd like to play out a little bit more, but I understand he wants to cut off that pass there. So Brown, of course, is going to take this shot. He gets a touch foul, as he normally does. He had a lot to say about the Sixers fouls after this game, which was interesting. And that was Embiid just going at him. Embiid got a lot of matchups with Jaylen Brown. I know from watching Sixers-Celtics games, funny enough, Celtics guards always do well guarding Embiid for the most part, right? But he draws the Brown assignment, kicks, one more. Maxey doesn't think about it, he just pulls. That's how you beat teams in the playoffs. That bum Gonzalez, I don't know if he made a shot all night. He gets passed up, he's wide open on the baseline. Look at this. Show me how much respect your teammates have for your shot-making ability. He misses the three, they get an offensive rebound. This man is naked coming underneath for an easy dunk probably, maybe a contested dunk. Because Kelly Oubre is not even guarding him. Shireman looks right in his face. He is wide open. This is at least a layup attempt over Embiid. Looks right at him. He says, nah, look, he's still open. Embiid's even overplaying. He makes the harder skip pass to Brown, and they come away with a bucket, so maybe it was the right pass at the end of the day. Celtics get back in this game. This is where Embiid's jawing at Jaylen Brown. This is a great clip here. Look, just pump fake. You can't guard me. Send help. Send help, man. Jaylen Brown's never going to stop Joel Embiid in that scenario. Maxey's whistle, at least in the Celtics series, is not a good sign. Knowing the Knicks whistles at home, that's all I'll say is it's not a good sign, right? Sixers get up to 15 by the end of the third quarter, and for a second it felt like maybe the Celtics were about 6 minutes from conceding here. I think the Sixers just got a little tired on offense, right? This is what I'm talking about, though. Look at this matchup. You have the mismatch with Keita on Grimes. Obviously, Derek White is going to overplay, and Embiid wants to go at a guard. But this is what I was saying from earlier. The Celtics guards play Embiid really well, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's, devil magic. I don't know what it is. But Embiid's like, I want to take this. If I was Grimes or Maxey, you have to come to Embiid's strong side behind him. I know it's a mismatch, but Derek White is one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA, especially for a guard. So Embiid spins. Derek White knows he's going up with the shot, and he blocks it. He gets a push. Arguably, that was a foul. I thought they were absolutely going to call that there. So it goes to a 10-point game. Hauser misses, but Keita cleans it up. Wants a foul. I don't know what he wants a foul for there. And Jaylen Brown, I'm shocked that was not a foul. There's a lot of times in this fourth quarter where I was shocked there was no foul call. Embiid's got Keita on him, drills it in his face. Too easy. And that's what you need to beat the Celtics, and that's what you're going to need to beat the Knicks. This was an offensive foul. It was a weak defensive foul. I don't understand that there. Poor Kelly Oubre was getting just bummed this game. Look at this. Ready? Oubre's set at the baseline. Literally just throws the elbow into him, travels as well. Look at he's dancing on the baseline. And this was frustrating because the Celtics got a lot of calls down the stretch. I'm not going to say they were all bad calls. They were just frustrating calls, right? Like, this is a frustrating call. Embiid comes back, and this was needed. Tells him, quiet down. This was easily the best stretch, probably, of the series here. Like, entertainment-wise. Go to Embiid. Brown stuffs him. Maybe a foul, maybe not. I mean, you see Brown with the hand motion. Good kick. I don't like VJ jumping at that. Look at this defensive breakdown, man. This is brutal. So Brown has VJ on him, right? Paul George is completely lost. Like, he's looking at the referee right now. Sam Hauser's cutting to the basket. What does that mean? Joel's going to go with him. Luckily, Jaylen Brown gets tunnel vision on offense. Cuts down. He's pushing off. This is a long 2 steps, by the way. Embiid is now switched on to Pritchard because George, tried to follow Hauser, who he lost because he's now overplaying. You got 4 guys in the vicinity. Brown goes up for a shot. George jumps as well. Hauser is wide open, which you'll see. Brown finds him. Kelly gets caught inside Keita, so Maxi's got to overplay now. Luckily, VJ understands I need to go up to the top of the key to guard Derek White, but he jumps at the first shot attempt. I get why you would, but I just, obviously you don't want to jump in this point in the game. You want to stay grounded. They don't get a shot to fall, luckily. This is crunch time. Maxey goes down, up and under, no foul, just a clean bucket. This was kind of a confusing possession. But, I mean, what is more automatic than Tyrese Maxey going downhill? And this is where I got a little worried. This was right after Embiid looked like he hyperextended his knee. He was diving on the floor. I don't know what the thought process was here. I understand there's 30 seconds left. I just don't know why you would go down and chuck this 3. They get a rebound. Derek White gets the ball, and he's going to chuck again. Paul George is in his face. Sixers get the rebound. The Celtics foul like 3 times from this point on. But you see hands on the knees from your 2 superstars. There's your boy, Jason Tatum. I have no words for Jason Tatum in this video. Sixers win by 9. They finally beat the Celtics in the playoffs. Man, oh man, what a game, what a series. Talk about defeating your enemy, right? Overcoming adversity. Something that we didn't think the Sixers could do was overcome adversity, especially in a scenario like that. I'm going to pull up the box score. I'm not going to do as deep of a box score overview. Take a look. Paul George, 5 of 10, which is fine. 3 of 5 from 3. No free throws again, but what did I say, right? If Paul George shoots well from 3, I don't care how many points he has because he plays great defense. Embiid had 34, 12, and 6, which is ridiculous. That's what you get from your star. Kelly Oubre, 6 points, 0 for 3 from 3. I don't like that. But what I do like, Maxey, 11 of 18 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Perfect from the line as well. He grabbed 11 boards, had 7 assists. And then VJ Edgecombe, are you serious? 23 points, 5 threes. What more do you want from your rookie? He's the X factor every night. Every night he's the X factor. And then the bench, look at the bench. 3 points off the bench for the Sixers. For the Celtics, Luka Garza played those first 9 minutes, didn't play again, as did Ron Harper. Baylor Shireman, I will see you in Cancun, buddy. 22 minutes, you did not hit a shot. Jaylen Brown, 33 points, he played well. Derek White played really well. Jaylen Brown was a minus 16, though. Hauser played well. Keita played really well, unfortunately. And Pritchard played okay, but he shot well. He didn't shoot well. Tonight at 8 o'clock, so tonight when this video comes out, this is the big matchup. Maxey and Brunson, who's going to get the better of the 2. And then Cat, who was averaging a triple-double over the last 2 games for the Knicks, almost a triple-double for the series. But Maxey and Brunson are playing very similar styles of basketball right now. Honestly, they might just cancel each other out. You see scoring-wise similar. Defensively, though, the Knicks right now, but granted, they played the Hawks, right? But the Knicks, obviously, the 3-point shooting is going to be It's going to be the tell of the series, right? So we'll see how it goes in game one. If you want my prediction, I don't have a series prediction yet. I know that's kind of like weird to say. You want to make it before the series starts. I really don't want to make a prediction before the series starts because I don't know how the Sixers are going to look versus the Knicks. They split the season series, but most of those games were without Embiid. Some were without George as well. So, like, the Knicks haven't seen a healthy Sixers team, and the Sixers probably haven't seen a 100% Knicks team either. So, game one is going to tell us a lot. I'm not excited for Madison Square Garden. I really don't like Knicks fans. I'm sorry. If any Knicks supporters are watching this, which I seriously doubt, I apologize. I just don't like Madison Square Garden. I think the officiating sometimes is a little bit interesting, is the way I'll put it. But for me, this is one of the biggest series that I've seen as a Sixers fan. And I do think that the Sixers can seriously compete with this team, but we have to see how they come out. And most importantly, Joel Embiid has to avoid injury. If you can escape the Knicks, and I'm not saying they're going to sweep them, I'm not saying they're doing it in 5. Even if they go to 7 and the Sixers come out, right? If you get past the Knicks, this is probably going to be your best shot at getting it done. And I'll leave it at that. So I'll probably get the next video out on Tuesday. We'll see how the Sixers play tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's probably going to be a little bit of a longer video, but this was an important breakdown because the Sixers look as good as they ever have right now. So tonight is a huge test for them. So as always, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you all have a good night, and remember to love basketball.